From KVUE News in Austin, you're watching Texas This Week with Ashley Goodo.
Good Sunday morning. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, Governor Greg Abbott and state leaders are also preparing for another virus to hit Texas, influenza. That's where we'll start with the three things you need to know in Texas politics. The governor and other state leaders met with influenza experts at UT Southwestern in Dallas Thursday. They talked about ways to increase testing for both flu and COVID-19 and what action they and the people of Texas can take to reduce the spread of both viruses. Abbott and health leaders are encouraging Texans to get a flu shot as soon as one is available. Democrats are hopeful they can clinch the U.S. Senate seat in Texas. So hopeful, in fact, that for the first time, the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee is investing a large sum of money in a Lone Star State race, putting $1 million into MJ Hagar's campaign against Republican Senator John Cornyn. The DSCC released a poll showing Cornyn just 1 point ahead of the Democratic newcomer among likely Texas voters. Cornyn still has the bigger war chest, and on Twitter called the donation a, quote, swamp-driven effort that's bad for Texas. The presidential candidates are stumping in Texas this week. Well, sort of. Former Vice President Joe Biden hosted a virtual event with Texas Democrats Friday afternoon to discuss his commitment and vision for the Latino community. A few hours later, President Donald Trump's campaign arm, Trump Victory, hosted an in-person MAGA meetup in Granger to show support for law enforcement. The November election is less than 100 days away. There are a lot of important races on the ballot, and some candidates will be going head-to-head for a second time. That's the case for U.S. Congressional District 10, which stretches all the way from Travis and Bastrop counties to West Houston. Republican Michael McCaul has represented the district in the U.S. House of Representatives since 2005 and is seeking his 9th term. He'll face a familiar opponent, Austin attorney Mike Siegel. The Democrat fell to McCaul by less than 5 percentage points in 2018. We spoke with Siegel last month. Today, we're hearing from Congressman Michael McCaul. First, tell our viewers why you want another term in Congress.
Well, you know, I feel like I represent the majority of the people in my district. I mean, in terms of their values and vision for America. I think I've been very effective, and I've gotten results for the people of Texas 10. And I think there's more work to be done. I'm just not. Went from being chairman of Homeland Security now to the top Republican leader on the Foreign Affairs Committee. When I chaired Homeland, the threat was ISIS and the Caliphate. And now as I lead foreign affairs, the threats are more Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. So I think the stakes are very high right now, and I also chair the China Task Force. There's just a lot more work to be done to make keep Americans safe and Texans safe.
In 2018, your Democratic challenger, Mike Siegel, came within 4 points of you. Are you at all concerned that he will be able to make up that difference this election?
Yeah, I don't think I have to say it was a bit of an anomaly last election cycle. You had a top of the ticket with Beto Cruz, straight party ticket, and everybody down ballot. He had 6% name ID. He got 48% on election day. We are taking this serious, though. I'm running one of the strongest, most robust campaigns I've run in my career. We have over 100 high school, college interns, very diverse group of kids out there knocking on doors, making phone calls. We're raising the money. We're taking this very, very seriously. And, running my own campaign. And I'm running on the results record and effectiveness. I was ranked by Georgetown University as the most bipartisan legislator from the state of Texas, and the third most effective member in the House, and I passed number 2 in terms of passed bills out of the House of Representatives. And actually, how can I get that done in the minority, you may ask? And that's because I'm bipartisan, and you have to be bipartisan to be effective. And what most of my constituents want is for me to work across the aisle, the other side, to work together to get good things done for the American people and the people of Texas 10.
Siegel has said that you're in favor of spending trillions of dollars to prop up the stock market and that you're not really willing to help the people of District 10. How do you respond to those claims?
No, we're for the working man and woman. I think we did that with our trade deal with China, the U.S. MCA with Canada and Mexico. I think his plan of the Green New Deal, which would cost upwards of $90 trillion, is not right for the people of District 10 or the American people. And, I personally think his views are they're too radical for the people of District 10. His own Democrat opponent said that he's doubled down on the politics of division and values rhetoric over results. Ashley, I think this is exactly what the American people and my constituents are so tired of. They're exhausted of the partisan, divisive rhetoric, both here and in Washington. I'm more known as a rational guy in the room, the adult in the room. I'm the level-headed guy, statesman-like, that wants to get things done. I work across the aisle. That's why the Foreign Affairs Committee that I lead with Chairman Engel was described as an island of calm and a sea of partisanship. And we do that because we work together, and that's the way Washington should work. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way.
If you are reelected to Congress, what would be your top priority?
I think the top priority is obviously dealing with COVID. The Paycheck Protection Program, we've saved over 200,000 jobs in Texas. I think getting to a treatment and a vaccine is going to be high priority. I was very proud at a local Austin firm, a biologics firm, that I shepherded their treatment through the FDA that just got FDA approval in phase 2 clinical trials. And we did a test in a hospital where we had almost 100% efficacy on the patients, some of whom were on ventilators. We're very excited to bring this treatment to Texas and bring it to Texas hospitals where we're spiking in COVID-19. I think secondly, actually, would be to get this recovery underway, to get the economy back on track. We had a very sound economy, one of the best with the fundamentals all there until this virus hit us from, outside of the United States, from Wuhan, China. And now it's been devastating. And I think getting through this and getting America back on track economically, but also treatments and vaccines to save lives, and getting the right policies in place. And I think finally, my China task force report will come out October 1st with legislative recommendations, how we can move forward with getting us independent from the supply chain out of the Chinese Communist Party. Senator Cornyn and I have worked in a bipartisan manner to get the CHIPS bill authorized. We're trying to get it funded right now, which would bring manufacturing of advanced semiconductor chips back to the United States, where we should have them, where in the Austin area would create, an enormous amount of jobs. We can manufacture these national security products here in the United States, and companies like Samsung, Intel, Apple would all be huge beneficiaries, of this bill. It's a win-win to me, and that's one of the highest priorities that I'm working on, right now.
Give our viewers some final thoughts about why they should elect you this November.
I think they want a leader who is not about a partisan divide and partisan rhetoric and trying to divide the nation. They're about a leader that's trying to bring Americans together to get results. I have a proven track record of demonstrating that, being one of the most effective members of Congress and the most bipartisan from the state of Texas. I think at the end of the day, that's what most people care about is, are you going to represent the majority of Texas 10, the people of Texas 10, to get good things done for the people of Texas 10 and Texas and Americans a whole. They don't want to elect somebody who's going to go up there and be a part of an extreme, fringe element that all they're going to do is raise up the partisan rhetoric and divide and not work across the aisle to get good things done.
You can learn more about Congressman McCaul's campaign at KVUE.com. You have until October 5th to register to vote. Early voting is set to run from October 13th through the 30th, and Election Day is November 3rd. That's Texas This Week.